Greetings, everyone. It's New York Dan here. 28 to 27 degrees, maybe 26. Yeah, I'm working on the Mustang clutch burring. It is a tedious job. The garage is a balmy 40 degrees, 40.1, because I've got that diesel heater running. Hit the thumbs up, your friend, New York Dan. Yeah, I got me headlight on, lads, and my hat. This is tedious. I'm wearing these gloves. I just changed them out. The other gloves are all greased up. I'm using my brand new tool set, too. Yeah, you know what? There's this saying with YouTube heroes, so to speak, like Sarasota, If it wasn't filmed, it didn't happen. Yeah, have you heard of fish stories? That's a big fish story. A whale of a tale. Fishermen make stuff up like that. You got to film it. So I'm going to film what I just did with this Mustang. It's hardcore, but I'm real happy because I think I got this thing accomplished. I'm going to show you the bearing. I have a spare bearing. I bought a new bearing. The problem is not the bearing. It only costs like something like $15 for the damn bearing. That's not the problem. The problem is you got to take the whole engine, almost take the engine out of the car, take the transmission out, disconnect it to get to this bearing. So this is what the bearing looks like. The fork goes in here and holds it, and then this surface here presses against the clutch, what they call forks or teeth. I should say teeth. I even have a clutch inside that I can show you. I have a brand new clutch. But guess what? You see this gap right here on this side of the bearing? I believe right under there are rollers that roll for the pressure that's put against the clutch. Before I was trying to grease it from this side, there's a rubber seal here. I was hoping to pry into that seal. That may work too, or shove grease into this bearing in here. But it turns out I was able to get a grease needle that I bent. I put it in the back side here. I'm going to show you right now on the car. Yeah, so check my work side out. You can see how warm it is. And guess what? It's going to snow tonight, so I'm really under the gun to get this done. Here's my get up right here. I'm using a Harbor Freight jack. It's an aluminum racing jack. It works really well. I also have this SUV jack here. It's a backup. I had to jack the side of the car with this SUV jack over here. Because there wasn't enough clearance to get this jack under the car where it's at right there, because it sits so low. That thing right there with the suspension, that's called the K-member. You see those springs up there? Yeah, that whole thing has to come out of the car. And then you have to lower the engine down in order to get the clutch, get to the bolts and change out the clutch. It's really difficult. I put a jack stand under there too. That's a 6-ton Harbor Freight jack stand. I don't want the car to fall on me. This is my Home Depot work light. This thing's really cool. Works great. I should have thought of this before. Last time I put it up on these Chinese lifter ramps, and it was real sketchy, and it was a lot of work to get those lifter ramps to work. This time, I got smart. I just jacked it. And this took me almost no time at all to get it jacked up. And check this out. Here's the brand new tool set I got. I'm not fooling around here, guys. This is Husky from Harbor Freight. Yeah, I'm not fooling around buying a cheap tool set. This has a lifetime guarantee. See that? The Husky. Check this out. A lot of deep wall sockets. This is the tray here with all the bits. Yeah, you can pull these whole trays out too. It's great for keeping the tools organized. I got it at Home Depot around the $169. It's worth it. It's a 300 and some odd piece. And then this closes here and it will lock those drawers in, and it has a carry handle. You could use this as a bench as well. I put it under the tire for added safety in case the car falls. No, but this is great because all my tools, this is a little heavy to carry, but anytime I need a tool, a socket out here, instead of having to run back to the garage and search through my disorganized mess, I got all my tools right in that box. Yeah, I'm going to show you what I'm dealing with under here. Just crawl on under here, me lads. It's only 26 degrees Fahrenheit out. Doesn't that sound like a fun time? Yeah, this is what I did. I have this grease gun, and then I had to get this hose. I think I got this at Harbor Freight as well. And then on the hose, I have a grease needle that I had to bend. I MacGyvered this thing. Hardcore MacGyver, man. And then this block here with this goes in. It's like a weight. It probably keeps vibration down when you press the clutch in. I have a feeling that's what it does. And it locks the clutch cable in place. And you can see this is the clutch cable right here. Just a simple cable, me lads. There's no hydraulic. And unfortunately, I'm filming this with my phone. So I have a shadow problem going on. I'm going to take my headlamp off. And I'm going to shine this in here to get you a really good look. That's the bearing. I thought I was able to do it right there. Right? That's the... Can you see it in there? That's the clutch bearing. Yeah, there it is, me lads. It's way in here. Yeah, right there. You see that? The fork plugs into that clutch bearing. And then you see the clutch fingers, they're called. Yeah, they're a spring, actually. That's how it works. And then I was able to put grease in the back part of that bearing. When I had this clutch cable disconnected, I could move the fork back a little bit and have a little more access. Now it's tight against there. So what I'm going to do is, I got to press that in, though, to get the car started. This may be a bit ambitious. I'm going to try to start the car up, and we're going to film it running underneath the car. How's that? By the way, before I start the car, I wanted to show you, I put in new clutch bearings in the front of this car years ago, 100,000 miles back, but I put a lot of extra grease in them. And I have AutoZone brake pads on here, AutoZone discs that are probably, they're Chinese, rotors. They're great. They've worked, this brake works amazingly well. Check how smooth this is. Isn't that smooth? I'm not doing that. It's spinning by itself. That's smooth. It don't get much smoother than that. And then while it's up in the air, you can rock the tire if the whole car doesn't fall down, right? And then that's how you check if you got like sloppy suspension or worn out joints. Yeah. You can hear that damn snow crunching under my feet. Yeah, my toes are cold, guys. I gotta wrap this up soon. Thank God I got that thing greased. I'll be driving this car to Super Bowl Sunday at Leslie's. Let's check this one out. It spins this way. Give it a spin. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, look at how smooth that is. That's great, right? And then we rock the thing. Yeah, that feels great. There's no play. No wonder why this car drives so well. Looks like a Spidey made a nest in there. That I need to clean out. Yeah, and then these damn lug nuts from AutoZone are starting to rust up. Believe that crap? I gotta spray them with some kind of grease. That's the problem with dirty old New York. They put that road salt down. You can see it on my tire. I've been driving this around. It's my only car that starts up in the cold weather good. Have to give it a clean off. All right, let's try to start it. By the way, I put wheel chocks, which are pieces of wood behind the back wheels. This might be a little spooky going underneath a car while it's running. What do you guys think? Oh, wow, it's hard to even get up in here. Holy smokes. Let's see if I can get in here. And now, yeah, I'm way up in the air. You see, I got to shift it into neutral. There it is. And then I got to press the clutch in. Let's see if it works. There she goes. I'm going to slowly let the clutch out. And that bearing is spinning. It is spinning as we speak. And the centrifugal force from... Whoa. That's creepy, right? There's nothing under the car. The centrifugal force from that bearing spinning should work the grease into it. Yeah, it's spinning, guys. No joke. She's spinning. It's a little creepy to go under a car that's running. Let's see if we can go in under here and see the clutch spinning. Nope. There it is, folks. She's spinning in there. You see that? That's it right there. The whole clutch assembly spinning around. It might fling some grease at you. And it's not making any more noise now either. I think it's running good. Look at that. That's insane. Yeah. Might get some grease flung at me. Woo-wee. Could just about get out of here. Oh. It ain't easy, folks. You gotta be tough. So guys, you don't know what just happened. When I start the car, this thing automatically locks the doors. And then when I was under there fooling around filming, the door closed to the first click. So now I can't get the door open. Thank God I keep a spare key in my wallet. And I love this about these cars. You can get this copied at the hardware store. Just put it in here. Yup. We're in like Flynn, baby. Thank God, because the other key is in the ignition here. I'm just going to work the clutch a few times and rev it up. Let me film it. Why not? See, I think it sounds much better. Let's try it. Here. Let's close it and roll the window down. That's what I should have done in the first place. Then I wouldn't have gotten locked out. Let's hear it. Now, let's put the clutch, but I can't put it in gear. I got to be careful. Let's put the clutch in. Nice. Let's rub it. Sounds smooth. I think we got it. It's in neutral. I think we got it. We got some grease in that bearing. I'm going to grease all the joints while I'm at it. And then what I'll do is I'll pick up the filming indoors where it's warm. And, well, you'll see if I, in the next segment, you know that I got out of the car, it didn't fall on me. 205,900 miles on this puppy. Oh, my neighbors are gonna love me running it out here. No, good thing it's not that late. It looks like it's midnight, but it's really only like 6:30. So I'll pick it up inside after I clean this mess up, and I'll show you guys what the clutch pieces look like, because I have I have all the parts brand new ready to go in case I want to change it. But changing it is very difficult. Well, guys, I ran over to the store. Luckily, before the snow starts sticking, it's coming down already. I'll tell you what, the clutch bearing sounds great. I can still hear it, though, when it revs up. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to last. I'll find out if I drive this car to Leslie's. If I take it on a longer trip tomorrow, we'll see what happens. Not tomorrow, actually, on Sunday. Tomorrow it's going to be snowing. It's not going to be good, guys. All right, I'll resume the video when I get back home, and I'll show you the clutch and the bearings and all that good stuff. Yep. To be careful of the hills out here. All right, guys. Hey, I'm going to film that clutch. I'm going to show you how it all works. But I'm telling you, today's some serious cold weather in New York. I put on a couple layers of these disposable gloves. I was out trying to get the snow off my car, scrape it. It's terrible out there today. And I hear the wind howling now. Yeah, this time I put the moisturizer on my face before I went out there. You guys said put Vaseline in the comments. You said, yeah. I'm going to show you the clutch parts. I got them in here now. It's no damn joke out here, guys. The wind is blowing. You can see those trees moving around. Yeah. It is frigid out here. Yeah, so you know what? Someone got me these for Christmas. Carhartt large. I tried putting these things on. I can't even move my fingers. They're way too tight for my hands. I got to see if I can get a new pair of these and return them. Those are useless to me. Yeah, I guess they're made. I don't know where they're made, but they cut them way too tiny. I have no idea how that's a large. Okay, this is the clutch disc. Yeah, this floats between the flywheel and what they call the pressure plate, which is another like flywheel. It's almost like a disc brake. This is the pressure plate right here. And when we were looking in the car, this is what we were seeing under there. These are the clutch fingers. They're actually the springs. And believe it or not, it's a weird setup. When this is pressed in, it actually pulls this plate toward the damn, it's like a counter lever almost. This gets pressed in and it pulls the plate this way to release the pressure on the clutch. That's why that throwout bearing has to press on these fingers. That's how it works, guys. There's also a pilot bearing. This goes on the end of the shaft. That goes through here into the flywheel of your engine. Essentially, that keeps the shaft from vibrating around, from moving. This thing is called like a peg, and it's bolted in, and the fork pivots on here. I got all the stuff. The problem is, this stuff isn't that expensive. The problem is installing it. I got a brand new fork right here. You can see this is what pivots, where that peg thing I showed you, the post, snaps in here and it pivots. And then this is the part we were looking at under my car where that cable connected to it. Yeah. And then that weight bolts in right here where that hole is. And this thing here, the pilot bearing snaps, not pilot bearing, the throwout bearing plugs in here. And this moves the throwout bearing back and forth. Yeah, that's how it all works, guys. We got all the parts. The only thing I don't have, it looks like I don't have a flywheel. When I do this job, I should really just buy a brand new flywheel. They're not that much. Yeah, this thing, why did I buy this now? I guess this comes with the clutch kit. Yeah, this thing comes with it. Brand new springs. I guess these springs go bad. This stuff wears out. That's probably why they give you a brand new spring. This bolts right here onto the flywheel. So this whole thing spins. This becomes part of your flywheel, essentially. and a manual transmission car. I don't think I have any other doodads under here. Yep. And the question is, what grease should these things come pre-greased? What's the best grease? What's this thing say? Spline lubricant. Look at this. Comes with a special, but that's for the spline teeth. Like, you're going to even see that in here. You'd be very easy to miss that, but you could put any grease on the splines. I don't think it's that big of a deal. The big deal is that throwout bearing. I was thinking maybe a graphite grease would work good, but this is the clutch, and it's like a brake material, almost like a disc brake. Yeah, it's got a lot of material though, but it basically wears down. These springs help when you disengage or engage the clutch. They help, I believe, with vibration. They make it a little bit smoother. But yeah, this thing right here, this plate, there's your friction material. This sits right on that pressure plate between that and the flywheel. And when those springs press against it, it locks it up. It becomes one. Right in here, this is what you put that grease on. These spline teeth in here. Yep, that's what the grease goes on. And then the whole thing bolts up. And then this thing is an alignment tool they give you. It plugs right into the splines here. And when you install it, this goes into like where the pilot bearing is. So what the deal is, you're working the opposite way. You're working from this side, right? And you got to put bolts in here and tighten them down. So when you have it like that, you put this thing in here, and that goes into your pilot bearing. So when you bolt this together, it's perfectly lined up. Then you take this off. This is all bolted up to your flywheel and your engine. And then you slide your transmission. The input shaft goes in here. You have to have it carefully lined up with a transmission jack. You move the whole tranny right against here. The bell housing, the whole bit. Input shaft slides perfectly in there. You don't want to bend anything. Yeah, you got to do it very carefully. Then you bolt the tranny back up. That's how you change this clutch. It ain't easy. It ain't easy, folks. Nope. So that's how it works right there, guys. Hit the thumbs up. Your friend, New York Dan. Yeah, so one other thing, guys. When you're doing this, once you take the flywheel off and you have this, the whole thing apart, you gotta do this. This is a rear main seal for the 4.6 V8. Yeah, apparently it's like a special rubber seal. It has a spring in it. Apparently it's easy enough to return. What's that say? Non-returnable. Made in China. Couldn't be finer. Yup, that's what it says. But anyway, you are well advised to replace this, because the hard part is doing all the work. The seal costs very little money. So if I do this, I can put a brand new rear main seal in my engine, the 4.6 V8 from Ford, in the Mustang GT from 1998. Yup. It should be easy enough to do. Changing this, doing the clutch, not so easy. Yeah, getting to all the stuff.